we were going to see the Bodvar because of those balance changes. Still on the Bodvar, we saw a clip earlier of a nice double scoop, the classic hammer recovery into hammer recovery to get the KO. Kyna is one of the baddest in South America right now. In like the last 10 tournaments he's entered, he's not gotten top 2 like 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, he's running in hot off of the doubles championship just this past week, so he's still keeping it going. As we see, yeah, that hammer.
Look at him do it.
What? No, I'm just kidding. It definitely got
nerfed.
Oh, but that hammer play is still going very well. And for Kyna, you kind of take advantage of everybody not being maybe mentally prepped for it, even though you've been fighting it for so long. And now you're going up against it here, like, okay, this doesn't make sense. And Wess already on sweat beads, struggling to find any ground.
Yeah, he's getting absolutely demolished by the hammer. Yeah, the sword is definitely what took it, but it doesn't matter. It's been slaps and slaps with the hammer for sure. That was all hammer damage and then probably 2 strings from the sword. So I know that hammer's looking good. He's got it right back into his hand. And you may be right. I mean, clearly, you know, with the nerfs aside, you should still have some semblance of what this weapon does. But he got Wess looking a little lost right now. Like, wait, this can still work? Yeah, it's working quite well against you, sir.
The wild thing is that Kyna like plays Bodvar backwards. Normally, everybody's playing sword to do the damage, and then they pick up the hammer, look for the stomp side air, back to sword. Kyna plays it completely 180 degrees the opposite way. That's what happens when you're on the other side of the hemisphere, when you're on the southern hemisphere, on the other side of the equator of the Earth. You just do things a little bit backwards, and Kyna is just so good at that hammer. Still has not fallen on this first stock yet. That recovery off the top, not quite. Wess is going to have to do a little bit more damage. Nice dash D-Sig, covering both sides, but didn't have to worry about that. Just had to hold forward. Ended up getting the KO.
Some things you always have to have mental preparedness for when you're fighting South America is the spear. They are just the pioneers. As we see, D-Light into GC D-Light side here, just getting that damage going. Wess is going to be one of those big problems you got to pay attention to, of course, for this, but mentally, just getting kind of cooked by the hammer at the start.
Oh, yeah.
It gets you, but Wess has answered back extremely well on this stock, almost evening up the damage.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that's got to feel good for him, too, because, again, you know, sometimes in these games, you get overwhelmed so quickly at the beginning, you do kind of, like, that's a make-or-break moment. Like, do you have the momentum to, like, pull yourself back out of, you know, this hole that you've been dug? But, no, he does it. You know, he's got the lead here. Kyna's got to figure out a way to get this stock off sooner than later. He cleaned up that first one quite easily, but he's having a hard time finding the last hit for the second one. Off the stage right here.
Sword in hand. Oh, nope. He hit the downer. I don't know if he meant to be on the ground and throw out a D-Light, or if he meant to be still in the air and throw out the actual down air. Kind of does pick up the stock, but took so much damage from Wess's spear and Wess's lance. He's about halfway through his final stock here. Doesn't really attempt too much of the weapon starve, as Wess is able to go in, grab that spear very quickly. Okay. Nice stomp sidelight. That is the option that players go for when their opponent is truly white, early, fresh on their stock, instead of the stomp side air or anything like that. But doesn't matter. Wess is going to take that one in the end. All of a sudden, that went Wess's direction.
Oh, yeah. Like, the first stock was like, all right, man, I have to remember what I'm playing against, but I remember now. So, and yeah, Wess kind of just ran away with that game right after. Gonna find a lot of good Wess clips here in this quick replay. Yeah, right before that, I'm going for that down sig, man. I was a little insane right there. But I mean, the neutral sig, but yeah, it was a little insane. But he was like, you know what? It's fine. I have the health to do that.
He has a high hit ratio on those, too. Like, it's not very often that he misses. Like, even if you're getting 33% of that, those 33% usually leading to the stock. Like, that's still a really good batting average for that position.
Especially over the edge, yeah.
Yeah, and then after having that first stock go the way that it did, and he answered back so well, he constantly had the reads on where the D-Lights needed to be. His party starters were always happening. He was not short of getting the damage. That's going to play to your mental as you go into game number 2 here if you're Kyna.
Now, one of the things I love about Wess is that he showed every aspect of the character, the legend, and the weapons that he's using. Everything that is inherent to Orion. The signature kit, both weapons, really the stats as well. Just using all of that, showing that, like, I'm not just a spear player, I'm not just a lance player. Right now, I'm an Orion player. So every pro, I am doing that. Every con, I'm trying to maybe lessen the amount of damage it could do to me. Really loving the way Wess is playing right now. Still has the lead here in this game. Almost has a stock barely 30 seconds into the game.
It's pretty interesting, too, because when you point out all of the, like, how he uses the whole kit, and then you look at the set with Power Ranger, I don't remember many signatures coming out from Val, like, at all. It was just straight up being outplayed by good swordplay, and I think that's a big difference in what we're seeing out of Wess, and what might have been the big difference that's now making Kyna pretty much look like that first stock of that first game was completely irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking too good for him right now. You know, good little display have hammer, prowess right there, but that's all we've really been able to see now. Stuck on the sword, stuck on, just getting punished every time he decides to try to land with the hitbox or just land in general. Finally getting himself something, to push him off the stage, but still hasn't been able to find the stock. And we got a lot of damage here on the West too. So I mean, a good sig from pretty much anywhere should be able to take it. Just has to find it, maybe. Yep, the recovery will do it too.
We do have a weapon spawn on the field. Kyna, we're going to see one toss, no juggling, opting over for the hammer about halfway through the second stock, as we see that neutral light is going to make contact, put Kyna into the orange. Spear comes out, immediate D-light. You saw him go for the D-light that opposite direction after the side light. Man, the backside of that hitting almost takes Kyna out. Kyna's definitely in trouble.
Yeah.
Now that we're in game 2, now that Wess has such a lead, and it seems like Wess has kind of basically completely figured out.
Yeah, I feel like right now it might be better for Kyna to play the regular Bodvar, right? That's just, let's get the sword out, let's get all this damage with the sword, and then maybe just look for a nice Sayer to go ahead and finish it off with the hammer a little later, because the hammer is, he's still getting some pretty cool strings, but not as many as he was getting that first stock, and that's long gone.
Yeah,
like,
I think the fact that he just slowed the game down so much just helps a lot, because I feel like he was trying to push advantage where it wasn't necessary, and if you overextend in front of Spear, you're going to get caught on your jump at some point, and that's what a lot of those D-lights are coming in. You kept trying to force something that wasn't there, and Wess was taking advantage, as we see it now switching up here to the Lance, and Kyna has him in knockout percentages. It's easy to find it. What is Wess doing? He's staying in center stage to force the approach. Kyna can't be the one to budge first. He's got to wait for Wess to go for a whip punish just like that.
Even that stomp side air is not enough to KO, but that down air right around that corner, making sure to pivot it so it scoops behind you first, then gets over to the wall before sending up. Gets the KO here. Kyna's actually in a pretty decent spot. That D-light is going to turn him orange. That side air going to put him a little bit deeper there. Oh no, he misplaced that down light. Did it the wrong direction.
Oh.
Another D-sig from Wess. I swear, anytime Kyna has hammer in his hands, a lot of times he's looking for D-light, of course. When Wess has the spear in his hands, you know that is prime D-sig territory anytime Kyna wants to push into his space.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, Kyna
didn't have enough damage.
Yeah, it didn't bounce high up enough for it. Unfortunate for him, but yeah, he's got to watch out for a lot, because Wess is not afraid to throw out these down sigs and neutral sigs for sure. There it is, right there, right over the edge. Watch yourself.
I mean, it's the mini game of don't jump.
Yeah.
Like every time, there we go again. Every time that he feels like Kyna might make a push to go for a jump in on a dare or something, he goes for the sig, like back off. And if you land here, that's my punish. But it's so close right now. Kyna gonna get caught again, though. He got him as soon as he recognized that the hit came out, instantly pulled the trigger, caught him with the back hit. Like you're saying before, most of these hits actually have been coming off the back hit in comparison to just a rush down. That's just really good space coverage from Wess.
It seems like he has the perfect punish for that every time. Taking one of the major moves in Hammer's kit, the combo starter, the KO starter as well, and using that against Kyna is huge for Wess. He's done it with both weapons, really, but especially that spear downsig. He's doing it so well. Look at the damage numbers, the breakdown. It's pretty even for Kyna, 275 hammer to 216 on spear, or sorry, a sword. Meanwhile, on the other side, Wess has almost, or really not all, but most of his damage on that spear, 412 to 177.
I mean, that's kind of what we were saying, too. I mean, the amount of down sigs he hit in itself almost could explain to you the amount of damage that he was able to hit with those with that 412. Because yeah, man, I mean, he's hitting those on the front side, the back side. He's dashing, getting them. He's catching your landings. He's using that down sig to like optimum efficiency.
Yeah, and now the big thing is, what do you do differently? Because you've been trying to play straight up on Demon Island, been trying to play him in center. Hopefully walk him to the corner. It hasn't been working. And so far, a lot of the bans that have come out have been to most of the platform stages, where we're going to make a trip over to Apocalypse, and we're going to finally switch off of the Bodvar. We're going to get the Zol to show up.
The Zol coming in from Kyna. I would not have expected this. If we're looking at reported characters that Kyna has, it's a lot of Bodvar, of course, then some Koji, and then a little bit of Cross. We haven't really seen this legend, this Zol, reported from Kyna in tournament. I believe I caught the legend level, and it was 72. So a lot of time on this legend. Cannon has been getting some love recently, and not just from the Ninja 729.
I'm a little sad that we didn't get the I know nobody else runs. It's probably just not optimal Zol, but I love seeing 10-4 Zol, because I feel like you're just telling me I'm a degenerate, and I want every hit to matter as much as it can. So
look, the gameplay has now become, if I hit you once, you go away. I want a knockout off of a single hit. And considering the way things were going with Wess before, it might have to be the game plan. Just hopefully to get those 0 to knockouts as quick as possible. The damage is in favor, and he, in fact, does strike first.
And if we're talking about range, we have Cannon D-Light. That's going to give him a lot of range. He actually has movement with it, so he can be further away, out of the range of those Spear D6 that we've seen previously, move himself in, and also have the extended range of the cannon itself, TK.
I was going to say, that's the thing, is that, like, he just, you know, he got that first stock in the first game, too, so it always starts looking good. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm holding my breath yet, so we can see what happens when Wess can, you know, kind of figures out, oh, I'm playing a different weapon. Let me go ahead and swap up my strategy. But, yeah, I mean, the Zol is effective at the very least. He's got a good amount of damage here onto Wess's second stock already in the deep orange. And, you know, it is Zol, even with taking away a force, that man is still holding 7 force right now, or 8 force right now. So, yeah.
Very funny call out on your end. It's like, he changed. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. It's the same thing. He may look at like it worked out in the start, but so far it does actually look like we're seeing a renewed Kyna as the neutralites are in fact going to go ahead and get the knockout. It seems like just needed a little bit more attached to those hits to start taking it out. We have a full stock up lead as we see a full play. He gets the chase. Wait a minute. All right, Kyna's starting to pop off a little bit here.
Beautiful string coming out from Kyna's cannon. That turnaround on the side air was stellar. He's keeping it going. Has Wess in the orange. If Wess wants to float above him, he's got to worry about those neutral airs. And if we're talking like sword neutral air or even hammer neutral air from the Bodvar pick previously, they aren't going to have the knockout potential that a cannon does. The neutral air is a classic KO combo follow-up, also a KO move. Kyna takes that one, not even halfway through the second stock.
Wow, at that 629 and 280 damage. I mean, yes, the damage, that's the type of damage you expect Zol to put out, but good Lord. I mean, this... What a turnaround here for Kyna just by picking out the Zol. You know, not a character that you see quite a bit. You know, I feel like Zol's big reign was back in the Sandstorm days. Yep. But, like, you know, now, you know, when he comes out, you're kind of like, oh, okay, interesting. This guy's been playing some Zol up here, apparently, with that high of a level. And we're also, no, we're getting swapping the skin. Okay, never mind. It's like, well, I'll take the skin swap, though.
What's crazy is how short that game was.
Oh, yeah.
It was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Putting out 629 damage in 2 minutes and 20 seconds is unreal, especially when part of that time, like, you're getting hit. That's just a part of the video game, but he completely minimized that by only taking 280 damage total. So he was just spending most of that game damage. Yeah,
that's an advantage game for him for sure. If he can keep that type of momentum up, it's going to look good for him. Now, he doesn't have the platform. He obviously got a different stage here, so we don't have the platforms on deck. Not to say that that really was what he needed, but I think it did extend one of those combos to be a little longer than you probably expected. But here, you know, he can still get those same that's the thing about the cannon is that it does have very long horizontal combos. So.
Yeah, and that platform definitely baited Wess to want to go up towards it to try and land. I 100% agree with that. And Wess just removing that from the picture now again, especially because this is what has been working for you this whole time. Currently up 2-1, but this Zol has absolutely been the answer. Not going to be able to find a knockout right there, but another straight hit side air, and almost catch him right there. But that forced Wess to have to fade back to not go for the wall touch because otherwise the stock was gone regardless. Yeah,
good stuff to Kyna right here. It's kind of putting up that down air wall. You know, didn't even have to hit the down air. It was just like, it's going to be enough to scare you from moving forward, and that's all he really needed. See what he can do with this. Still looking for that jump back in, or that for Wess to jump back in right there with that one. But Wess hasn't really been giving that jump up too often. Wess actually doing a good job of mixing up what he is doing, though, because he has not been hit by a follow-up yet.
But all of the like critical punishes that Wess was hitting before, wow, that was so close to making contact. There is a ground pound there to take away that stock. Wess now pretty deep in the orange on his second stock. But all of the like critical punishes that Wess was getting before with the spear down signature, even aside from that, just the regular punishes when Kyna would do virtually anything, Wess is not finding those. All of a sudden that stock went from orange to red. Now he's done. Kyna has a full stock lead.
I don't remember the last time I've seen Wess get a good D-Light string. Like, I do, everything in those first couple games was Wess just comboing Kyna, but now Kyna decided to put on the showcase out here. Another side light whiffs, and if you do that in front of Cannon, that is so much different. Oh my goodness, just landing right in front of that. That could have easily been another highlight reel clip as we see it continue right now.
This is an absolute body bag right now. Bro, where were you 2 games ago? Yeah, you're not a hammer player anymore, man. I don't want to hear it. I don't want. You're a cannon player now, bro, because that is all like just a wonderful cannon play right there. Look, the man was 2 stocks like egg white, bro. Like that's a W and a half.
Like, Bro, you got the buy one, get one free, and you even asked for it. Like, 569 to 211. Another massive damage differential between these two.
How quick was this game again?
Like, oh my, look at how little damage he took on that final stock. Look at that.
Look at that line.
Depending on how big or small your TV is or how far away you're sitting from it, you may not even be able to see that final wedge coming out from Kyna. It's that short. It's that flat. Just taking virtually no damage whatsoever. Kyna Zol is way nastier than I ever would have thought it could be.
Actually, that is not what I was expecting. That felt like, you know, we've been here like Kyna's the hammer guy, right?
Yeah.
Drops it all. Drops every piece of it. He's like, no, I'm not doing any of that. And now he's popping off with the axe, with the cannon. It's mostly the cannon, but the axe is getting a couple hits in there as well. So I do feel as though we are going to get a swap here. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah,
just so you can zoom in.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
That's insanity. Like, there's just no damage at all. Those first couple games looked like they were completely irrelevant. And you're right, not a hammer in play anymore. I know we were trying to hype it up to give a little bit more hope to that, but that cannon is where it is at. The knockout pressure has been one thing, but it's been the combo game. The reads have been just stacked as we get into game number 5 with what could be another reverse 3-0.
It feels like some psychological damage, too. Like, think about the fact is, like, now I'm like, why am I taking so much damage in a short amount of time? Every hit is now scary when Kyna's hitting you with this cannon.
Somehow Kyna is the band that shows up and everyone wants them to play the greatest hits, but actually they're just going to bring out the new stuff, and somehow the new stuff is, like, actually better. Like, they play that new album and everyone's like, okay, hold on, I take it back. We don't need to hear the greatest hits. We've been hearing those for 15 years. I want this new stuff.
And that is exactly what, I mean, he's got the new stuff on deck for sure now. You know, this game not developing nearly as quickly as the last two, but he still does have a little bit of a lead here. Also, the swap to the Val. You know, again, another character we see quite a bit of, so kind of shouldn't be unfamiliar here with this matchup, but Wess could still be bringing something new to the table, seeing that he swapped out both his weapons as well for the gauntlet and the sword.
He's got to figure something out. Definitely the change of pace here going to the Val might be the play, especially on Demon Island. This is something we see quite often throughout history, especially with the run of Meg D that we've seen in the past. Going to the stage, it's almost impossible to hit him here, but this is extremely close. And what a call again from Kyna. Does not even need a weapon. Will throw hands with you straight up anyways and still gets another lead.
Yeah, and the weapon starve as well. Look at that. Nothing in the hand. Okay, got to get a long combo right there. I like that weapon toss though to try to get, you know, try to still keep him off of it. Does end up picking it back up, but yeah, a little 4-piece, and the man's already in orange. He's been hit 5 times. Zol is too strong. Like the man is in orange right now. He's been hit like 5 times. That is, I know that's got to, again, that's the psychological damage. That's actual damage. You know, it's like vine booms every time you get hit.
We're hearing the Call of Duty hit marker on that one, for sure. For sure. One thing I am curious about is kind of where this Val pick is coming from. Because if you look at Wess's most reported legends in tournament, number 1 is Olgrim, number 2 is Volkov, number 3 is Orion, number 4 is Artemis, number 5 is Jala. None of those are Val. And he does have a level 61 Val, so he has a lot of time on this Val. That's comparable to Kyna's level 72 Zol. But still, we haven't seen Wess play this in 1v1, haven't really seen him play it in 2v2 either, and Kyna is looking a lot better on his character swap than Wess is.
Man, look, when I think Wess, I think Lance. Like, that's just the way it is. Like you're saying, you're just running down all of those legends in favor of that. But Kyna is now actually playing in Wess's head. That bait to go for the Sig to force him to jump above the ledge early to then get that free punish, and now consistently going for that. Oh, what an answer, though. Ground pound coming through. Is he going to be able to get the wall touch? No, you are not. That was such a free call out. As soon as those sweat beats show up, you know they're going to go for the side air to get that touch.
And this is still a game 5 situation, too. So, I mean, like, this is very close. I mean, it looks like the Val is indeed working. I am going to think that he decided to go with the Val a little bit because of the defense. You know, Val's definitely up there in the defensive stat. So that's going to help out living. I mean, not the craziest. You know, this man has still got 8 force, but it is going to help you live a little longer than you were probably living without Orion.
Yeah, hopefully you can keep that going right now. Like, Stead Center going in again, but that time Wess seeing through it, not going to get caught by it going in, and he's going for a couple of D-lights to try and play the anti-air game. Wess has been jumping a lot in front of him and kind of trying to read through that.
We're seeing some of these side airs come out from Kyna. He's looking to wrap this one up here. I think he's ready to move on after this game 5. Keep in mind, both of these players are on the elimination side of the bracket, so a victory for either player here means that they move on. Otherwise, you're done. Like, your weekend is over. Your summer championship is finished. You have to hold that placement that you got.
No.
There's a D-Light Nair. That is going to end it. You even see the claps coming out from Kyna. He ascends the throne on the game-winning screen. Kyna seems unstoppable.
That, as soon as I saw the weapon swap, I was like, okay, the game is over. Like,
Yep.
I saw him pick it up. It's like the golden weapon. He's like, that's what I'm trying to get.